Welcome to the sixth episode of the Frozen Biscuit. Today, we will be talking about the Nashville Predators. So, a couple of big moves, relatively minor in progress, but did bring in Ryan McDonough for Philippe Myers and Grant Mismatch. So, what do you think of that move?
The Ryan McDonough move. The man, the two-time Stanley Cup champion Ryan McDonough. Great defenseman. He's going to be sick with Roman Josi. Roman Josi was already great by himself. Imagine him with McDonough. They're nasty. That's nasty right there. McDonough is great because he's physical. Roman Josi, I feel like Roman Josi is one of the softest defensemen in the NHL. He doesn't really hit a lot. McDonough is going to help that. McDonough can also put the puck in the back of the net, which we saw a lot last year in Tampa. And they, in the Ryan McDonough trade, McDonough to Nashville for Philippe Myers and Grant Mismatch to Tampa. That went to Tampa.
Yeah, I thought it was a good move for both parties because Tampa needed a way to clear up cap space, and the Preds did need a really good defenseman besides Yossi. So, I think it'll help that team a lot, and it'll probably build up that roster as well.
Speaking of a guy who's taking a lot of cap, Philip Forsberg is getting paid heavily in Nashville. 8.5 for the next 8 years with that no movement clause. Zach, what are your thoughts on the Philippe Forsberg signing?
I think it's worth it. He did have 84 points, so that's over a point per game, which is pretty good. But 42 and 42 exactly. So I think it's worth it. I do want to see him play a little more though. Only playing 69 games, but overall, I think a necessary move to keep Nashville competitive.
With the Nashville Predators bringing in a nice third, maybe second liner and Nino Niederreiter. You think that's an overpay? I feel like it's an overpay. It's a 2-year, $4 million contract. I don't like it. It's just four. It should be three or two. I don't like it. Do you have thoughts on that contract?
They had the money to do that, but maybe a little bit of an overpay. I think a 2x3 made more sense, but he brings a good defensive forward to at squad, and Niederreiter will back up Forsberg and Duchesne really well.
This is what I think of this Nashville Predators team. They're a good team. They're not great. They're just good. They're morally in the middle. Their bottom two or four of their defense is not very special. I don't like Jeremy Lauzon very much from what I've seen him in Boston. Their goalies, I like Saros. They need a better backup. I don't like the backup. Saros is beautiful. Saros is their guy. He will lead the way. He is caliber for the Vezina. He's a caliber for anything. The Bill Masterton, he's in anything, that guy. He's sick. Zach, what do you think the Predators need to add to get over the hump of first round or second round exits?
Maybe they did have pretty good scoring throughout, but I want to see maybe not bringing in somebody, but having more players other than Duchesne, Forsberg, and Yossi score a lot. You want to see Philip Tomasino score a lot more. I think generally the whole lineup should be scoring a lot more. So maybe bringing in a goal scorer, that would help. But otherwise, I think they're good where they are now. And maybe once they can get some more cap, then they bring in a good player.
A good goal scorer would help with the Duchenne and Forsberg line. Who would you think? Like somebody like the big name of next year's free agent class, David Pastrnak. See him on the island next year. He's coming. Don't you worry. He's coming to the island.
Um,
But they go a little bit like a smaller move. Like maybe you see a guy that doesn't cost that much, like maybe like $7 or $6 million. But they free up some cap. I don't see a.
I
I don't.
think, yeah, um, maybe I would try to bring in a good piece again. Sony Milano would fill that roster up nicely. Plus, he's relatively cheap too, so you could get him for like a discount maybe, and then you can sign up for a full deal once more cap is ready. But otherwise, I think you're good where you are now. I wouldn't try to like go for a cup, but I would want to see a playoffs for the Preds.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good playoff team. I could see a conference finals appearance maybe. I could see it. I could see them upsetting the Colorado Avalanche and then making their way to the conference finals and losing to the Edmonton Oilers. But that's I don't think that. I think it, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Where do you see the Predators this season? I could see it being first wild card. Maybe you slide into third in the Central Division. What do you think, Zach?
I agree. I think they'll either go first wild card spot or they will be in that third slot in the Central. But I wouldn't expect going too far. I think they're trying to hope the same thing as the Kings, like a decent round in like the first round or make it to the second. I think that would be a good season for the Preds, but I do see them as a playoff team. So honestly, any appearance for them would be really good.
I agree too. The Predators, I feel like the Predators are just weird. I don't know. They have that catfish thing. It weirds me out.
Hey, Detroit has the octopus. Like,
Everything, everything weirds me out about Nashville. I'm sorry, Nashville people out there. I hate Nashville. It's just a weird town. It's just weird. It's just such a weird place. I don't want to. I've never been to Nashville, but I never want to go to Nashville. I'm sorry, everybody from Nashville. I don't want to go there. I'd rather go to Vegas. After that TikTok we just posted a couple of
yeah,
minutes
check
ago.
out that TikTok. But yeah, Nashville overall is a very solid team. Is very rounded out. Plus, they have good prospects that could come in later. But you never know.
You never really know about anything in the National Hockey League these days. And then we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us today for this episode. It's been a great one, and peace.
Peace.